Hi, hello again. I'm back again because when I looked at this I thought it's a little bit wonky and there was a few things I wanted to change about it. So I'm using a blue pen now. This is the self-portrait that I had started on a different video. I was drawing on a different video. My name is Anya Divine. I hardly ever say that now. And what I usually say is have a look at the links below if you want to know more about what I'm up to and all that. Maybe it's because I've not got any physical workshops going on, particularly right now, that I've stopped adding the details below. But for whatever reason it is, I'm afraid I don't have any details below. But if you did want to contact me, the best thing to do is to email me. And you can get my email on my website, which is anyadivinepaintings.co.uk. And the thing that I like to do to stay in touch with people is to write a newsletter every so often. I might do a newsletter today. That'd be quite good now if I could get myself to do a newsletter today. But the thing I was also saying earlier is that I've got another job that I want to do that seems to constantly, it has been put off by me a few times. And that's what's going to happen today. If you were listening to the last video and the one before, you might have an insight into what my head is like, because there's a certain kind of relentlessness that comes in with that voice. I think what I need to do is something that Eckhart Tolle says. I think it's Eckhart Tolle in The Power of No. He says, if you're going to do something, just go ahead and do it. If you want to do something, just go ahead and do it, if you have something to do. But if you don't do it, enter fully into not doing it. Be okay completely with not doing it. And so I have been occupying the messy middle ground there, just saying, as I'm doing this, what I should be doing. In a way, that's actually what I'm saying, what I have been saying. So this now is that watershed moment when that changes, and I fully absorb myself in the task in hand. Actually, to be honest, the thing about drawing is that you are already occupying the space where the critical voice might normally be, is being occupied by observation. That's maybe why I love art so much and working from observation so much, is that for just a little while there's a window of breathing space where there isn't that noise in my head. At least it's noisy. It's noise that's not being listened to, and so the volume seems to decrease. Alright, so I've introduced the blue because I wanted to make some significant changes. For example, this eye had been too high up, I reckon. I mean, there's something lopsided, and either it's my view in the mirror, or the mirror might be warped, or my face is significantly asymmetrical, kind of Stephen Fry style, or I'm just seeing wrongly or lopsidedly. It's funny, you know. I can only see half my lip, like, see the other part. I need to stop talking when I'm doing them. I've done something unusual with my nose as well. Feels to me like my nose needs to be bigger. And I know it's lopsided, but I'm just going to leave it that way because it looks like that in the mirror. Don't know really why. I think it needs to be bigger. And I think there needs to be a little bit more of shadow on the underside of it, like I could bring some orange in. It might be slightly nuts now, but that's okay. So shadow under here, orange. Hoping if I disperse it around the place it's not going to look like a strange highlight where there should be shadow. I'll head for a walk with Maisie, but first I do my job. Oh my god, I've started talking about it again. You know, sometimes you can give so much energy to things that don't really take that much energy to do in the end. I found that with the newsletter sometimes. As much as I love communicating with folk, if I feel like I'm falling behind in any way, it becomes this kind of a whip, you know, like a rod that I'm whipping myself with. When actually, when I settle down to doing it, I really love it and I can't get enough of it. Like this communicating with you the whole time, thinking, oh, I want to tell them that, I want to tell them. And there's loads of things that come to me. And there's news from my mum in Ireland, like she sends over news all about blackberry picking with the grandchildren and making jams and propagating plants and stuff like that, that I would love to include in the newsletter as well. And just, you know, I was watching Gogglebox with Lily the other evening, and that to me maybe has a flavour of the feeling I get when I communicate with you. Just really simple stuff, you know, stuff of simple, but I think it's like the stuff of life, that old chit chat that we get involved in with each other when we're just relaxed in each other's company. I think maybe that we crave that as a society, you know, that in general we as much as it doesn't seem like a top priority is really given to it, that is actually what makes us tick in the end, is that gentle communication with those we love, and just those that we don't even know very well. Just gentle communication. And I find that one of the things that I love is doing a bit of art at the same time. I know why my head is tilted. It's because my head is tilted. I'm tilting my head as I'm doing this. I just thought there was a slight cerulean blue quality to some of the... I think that's me admitting to my grey. My mum had black hair for a long time, so I don't think I'm going to go white anytime soon, but it's kind of exciting. Right. Don't know, how's that now? Every so often I turn it up to look at it in the mirror. I think possibly I'm looking wonkier than I was before I started. The second phase, but I'll keep going with that. So there's this part of the eyelid seems to be important and it's kind of absent, so I'm just going to identify it more clearly. I haven't really clearly seen that line. And then it's quite dark as it comes in to meet the corner of the eye there. And I think I'll use some of this colour under the nose, because the nose is maybe reading as a bit too bright with that orange. So this is just it's like an ultramarine blue pen, I suppose you could say. and the filtrum will be there-ish. My lips. It's an interesting thing, you know. There's a distortion that happens. See my neck, it's tiny. But I think it's because my face is veering away and my neck is at the end of my vision here. And in the image in the mirror, the neck is at the top. I think it's okay. I'm going to actually stop now. Don't know what I'll do next. Because that space that's occupied by observation could be infiltrated suddenly by loads of shoulds and musts and all of those things. But hey ho, I think my job really is to tune out that voice insofar as I can, so that I can actually get on with the job of living. There's a sun-drenched orange face. Okay then, nice to see you. See you another time.